teaching being the bedrock of development in any country, is an area where COVID-19 has hit really hard. So number one, if I talk about the students, we have seen that students need to be back in school. When they are away from their teachers, they don't only have stress and psychological, problems, but they are also very vulnerable. We have been reading in the media a lot of rape cases, sexual violence. We have small children getting pregnant. And we should be very worried because most of these pregnancies are being gotten from the very house where the kids are living. So are we therefore looking at a situation where we will be having children born out of incest? So it is a real disaster that needs to be addressed. All the same, I want to thank the government for thinking of reopening back the schools. And as you heard, the president clearly stated, it is not an issue of just opening the school, but the how. And I think that's one of the issues we are going to address today, because we have a plan that we can share with the country, how we think the school should be reopened. And let me take again this opportunity to celebrate all the teachers who accepted to go back to work, even though there has been no proper mechanism of engaging them. But it just shows that teachers are always available when they are asked to go and take care of their students. And that is why they report every day. Even today, as they celebrate, we have asked them to report to the schools first, then they come, we do the celebrations, because it is the teachers who are going to bring back the system for the students.
Well, Binta, the reopening of the schools will mean a lot for the teachers, and I wanted you to touch on the kind of additional responsibilities that teachers are likely to face when the schools reopen.
Yes.
You are the CEO of the Kenya Women Teachers Association,
Yes.
and you know the gender issues when it comes to responsibilities.
Yes.
And chances are that most likely it's the female teachers
Yes.
who will be tasked with the psychosocial support and all that. Maybe a brief comment on that.
Exactly, that's a very important question. There's going to be real need for social psycho support for the students and also for the teachers themselves. Because even when the teachers are away from school, we have seen a report by Aeon Minet that shows that teachers have been depressed, and some of them have even lost their lives due to the fact that they are not in the familiar, ground where the students they know are suffering and so on and so forth. Now, additional responsibility is going to fall squarely on the women teachers. If you look at the statistics and the data of women teachers who are, teachers who are guidance and counseling officers, they are all women. It's very rare that you'll find a man. Therefore, we are taking that as a responsibility for our organization. Every county, we are looking for a mentor who can then bring the women teachers together to show them how we can move on. One, there are kids who are coming to school when they are pregnant. There are kids who are coming to school when they have been raped. There are boys who are coming to school when they have gotten into alcoholism. So it is going to be a complete re-engineering. This is a responsibility that the teachers need to take. And therefore, the government and the administration must put that into consideration even before bringing the students back to class. I think that's the first thing that should be tackled. And that is why in our proposal we are saying that schools should be open in phases, only exams classes to be recalled, and we are suggesting that they be recalled in October, towards the end of October, and then Form 1 to Form 3 classes to repeat. I know this is very controversial, especially when it comes to parents. But then again, what is the reality on the ground? You want to take these children who have all the psychological problems and you want to force them into a classroom. Are we really going to achieve the objective that we want? So there's going to be additional responsibility, and therefore the Teachers Service Commission must look into a way in which the teachers can be mentored first into this role, because no teacher has been trained to support children, in that manner. So the Teacher Service Commission, as they ask teachers to go back, should also think of a way of getting a mentor in every school who is going to take the children through this. Additional responsibility will come in, especially in terms of, the protocols of COVID. So when the students come back to school, who is going to take their temperature and how often? That is one responsibility. The second one is, if a teacher gets sick and is found to have COVID, is there a quarantine room in the school where the teacher can be quarantined? And what happens to the teacher's family? What if a child gets COVID or comes with COVID into the school? Now, the proposal by the Cabinet Secretary is that parents to buy, 2 masks at 100 shilling for their kids. 2 masks, how often? Which masks? So our proposal is that the responsibility of buying masks to be given back to the heads of institutions, and a specific mask with specification, they be told where to buy, even if it is from the Kitui factory or something like that, so that every child is protected. You know that masks are being washed in rivers and being resold. These are the masks some of the children who are coming from humble backgrounds are going to come back with to school. And these masks are going to spread COVID. So the issue of masks should not be handled, the way I've seen it's being handled, because there are masks, there are families who can't even afford 100 shillings for masks. And every parent is going to be required to buy masks worth 100 shillings, 2 masks. So even before we talk about learning starting, the protocols, COVID protocols must be fully exhausted. In our proposal, which we sent to the ministry, we had said that every school to have a booth, a sanitizing booth. But in the proposal that I saw that the Cabinet Secretary gave, that never appeared. So as we think that life is normalizing, we should see other countries what is happening. Other countries are closing back again. So it is really not a joke. So I think all stakeholders should assist the president in giving the how.